built the most successful quantum computer to date, says nature knows how to compute. We just don't know how to ask the right questions. Here's how the computer works. All atoms have a spin of up or down. So scientists can use their spins in the same way that transistors are currently used in today's computers to represent 0 or 1. So far, so good, but here's where the quantum factor comes in that are the source of the amazing power of these computers. Atoms can have both an up and down spin at the same time until they are measured. The act of measuring the atom forces it to choose between up or down. In essence, what these scientists are saying is it's not the atom that has the spin, but the act of observation. In other words, these computers do not depend on matter, but on our intention, on our observation of the potentiality. Our universe creates in a state of potential until we observe or interact with it, and it is that process of interaction that causes the potentiality to unfold, to manifest itself. Weirder still, and this is from the article again, the quantum computer holds an infinite number of correct answers for an infinite number of universes. The computer just gives you the right answer for the universe you happen to be in at that time. To believe in quantum computers, which our government and private industry spending billions on, we have to believe in parallel universes. This is hard to grasp, and then it gets even harder. Quantum computers gain even more power because of a process called entanglement. When two atoms are observed by the same force, they become entangled and remain so even though they may be light years apart. Their spins are in all positions at once, but the instant one entangled atom is observed, its spin goes one way. At the same instant, the spin of the other particle locks in the opposite direction, even though they may be light years apart. This is essential to the increased speed of quantum computers. Today's computers are limited to the speed of the electron. The shift in spin, even over light years, is instantaneous. In addition to the entanglement, according to USA Today, there are ways to do Star Trek-type teleportation. And in fact, since that article was written, scientists have learned how to teleport, not matter yet, but photons. So all of this science is almost incomprehensible, but it shows us that we have aspects because we are all essentially composed of billions of these atoms that are tiny little calculators. As the article said, as the scientist that's creating these machines said, atoms are natural calculators, and we are built of billions of these atoms. Now, all of this works on frequency. The whole essence of quantum computing and our super thinking course is based around frequency. And all things are composed of different kinds of frequencies, especially our brain waves. This act of observing requires us to use our brain waves, and our main four brain waves, there's four of them, are beta, which runs at between 15 and 40 cycles per second, alpha, which runs at 9 to 14 cycles, theta, which is 5 to 8 cycles a second, and delta, which is 1.5 to 4 cycles a second. And this is where education has been using a technique that's not the most practical or not the most successful. Most education, most teaching operates at the beta level. Beta level is the information directly in front of you. It is the logic. It is the part that we're constantly processing to deal with the matter aspect, with the material aspect of our life. It's right in front of us. It's in the here and now. And we use our logic to operate on that. And it also happens to be the most inefficient portion of our being, of our knowledge, of our ability to absorb, retain, and recall information. It's the most inefficient brain pattern. And by the way, all these brain waves, all these brain patterns, all these cycles are going on at the same time. We're talking about which is the dominant pattern at any one stage. So in this particular case, most of the time when we're thinking, when we're involved in some sort of logical process, when we are debating with somebody or something of that nature, we're operating in our with our beta brainwaves as being the dominant pattern. However, when we bring our brain waves down, when our alpha or our theta become the dominant patterns, then we actually improve our ability to absorb data. It's like the beta is aimed at sending information out, but alpha is for taking it in and recalling it. It's a deeper field of knowledge that opens up much, much more information that our logic cannot handle. Now, the reason a lot of people don't like it is because you can't deal with it in English. It takes us down to this quantum level, which is infinite, and you can't make infinity finite. And our logic always wants to define things. Define means to take it out of the infinite state. So education has always worked at this logical level to try and define infinity, and in the process it shuts down the best aspects we have as human beings of learning. And we have so much knowledge that we can't logically think about. You know, if you can imagine it, we know how, for example, to grow arms and legs. We all did it. We didn't logically think about it. We didn't get up in the morning as a child and say, okay, I'm going to grow my toes X numbers of centimeters today. Our body just did it. Some aspect of knowledge that we possess did it. We can't logically do it, and it's probably too complicated. If we tried to do it, it would be like taking a huge file into our computer. It would jam the whole process up. So the educational process, however, has always used that. So we're taught to memorize information, to read it, be able to spit it back out. And that system doesn't work very well. It's really hard work to try and get that kind of information in, to try and remember it, to keep that information, to access it when we need it. And then usually there's a lot of fear built in at the same time.